Nation in Conversation, proudly brought to you by AFGRI, Fort Knox, Hinterland, Monsanto, Nedbank, NWK and Sendex.
Welcome to Nation in Conversation. My name is Theo Foster. My guest today is Mark Boshoff. He's the Head Strategic Initiatives at Nedbank Business Banking. Mark, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Mark, I want to start the conversation from the premise that Nedbank is a green bank. Nedbank is active in renewable energy. Why is that?
Nedbank has come on a long journey over the years. It has always been a strategic initiative of the bank, and we started by looking at ourselves, how we were functioning on a sustainable level. And over the years, we've got to a point where we recognize as one of the first green carbon neutral banks. We're completely sustainable, and more our clients were saying to us, well, how do we become like you are? How do we follow that philosophy? But it was also from ourselves that we say, but possibly what we've learned we need to pass on to our clients. So we went through an entire process where we had a look at how could we do these things, and our CEO, Mike Brown, has put forward a challenge to everybody in the bank saying that we have Fair Share 2030, and it basically comes down to what is Nedbank's fair share in stopping the global warming, the carbon footprint, and all those kinds of things. And he's put forward a challenge which says that we have to lend money differently going forward. We've got to take a certain amount of money and put it in lending in green, sustainable products. It's not necessarily just your renewable energy, it's also social products and those kinds of things. So it's come a long way, and it's finally come to the point where we're now offering a product to finance renewable energy for our clients.
That product, what does it entail?
That product, I personally think it's amazing way of structuring things and making it easier for our clients. The product's basic premise is that we will finance any renewable energy that a client wants to put up in his business. And I'm in business banking, so we're talking mainly businesses here, commercial applications, agricultural applications, where the client will either become independent or less dependent on carbon and fossil fuels. The product works on the premise that the savings you make by taking renewable energy and putting it in, we will try and match that to the repayment of that renewable energy. So it's a very simple concept, very simple philosophy. And we've done it in a number of ways. What we've said is to reduce that repayment, you've got to find a way to make the cost of the equipment much less. We've got to find a way of reducing the repayment, and you can do that in a number of ways. One of the ways that we've done is we've insisted that our clients have energy audits. The energy audit reduces your energy cost. It changes all your energy guzzlers, if you want to call it that, putting in more efficient equipment, and then what we will do is we will say on that reduced energy consumption, you put in less renewable energy. We've then said, let's take the payment period, which is normally 3 to 5 years on the normal banking products. We're saying we need to extend that because the payback period on renewable energy is much longer. So we'll look at it up to 10 years. We also have a look at it as a portfolio product. So we'll say you've already got a current account with us, you've already got asset-based finance. We'll have a look at that average rate that you're using to give you a good repayment rate, all in the view of reducing the repayment. When you reduce the repayment, you suddenly get closer to what the client's currently paying, and everybody wins in the event.
And obviously, continued escalations in energy input costs assist the project in the financing.
Well, that's where the beauty of the product lies, is in the cash flow modeling. What one has a look at now that you've reduced your repayments, you also then have a look at what incentives is government giving you. You also have, and there are tax incentives, there's Eskom incentives that would affect your cash flow. And you can also then look at the various ways of doing business on that basis.
The typical client that this would be applicable to, give us a few examples of what type of client would this be suitable for?
I did a lot of research on this, and I can say with all honesty that there isn't any client that cannot benefit from this, from your homeowner right through to your large industrial.
Anybody that uses energy.
Anybody that uses energy. The extent to which they can become independent might vary. If we take a huge energy consumer, for example, an aluminium smelter, I don't think you're ever going to get away from using the current ESCOM grid net, but you could run your admin buildings and those kinds of things on it. So everybody has got opportunities to use it. We're seeing it in filling stations at the moment. They're using that space at over the petrol pumps. We're seeing it on wine farmers, cellars. Wherever you look, if you actually just raise your eyes slightly, wherever you're going in South Africa at the moment, you'll see solar panels, you'll see windmills, you'll see solar collectors. The applications are just unlimited.
Looking 3, 5, 10 years ahead?
3, 5, 10 years ahead, we hope, or we believe that we'll be the leading bank in financing renewable energy, and we not only concentrating on our clients, we're also looking at how can we finance the entire value chain. And that means how can we assist the suppliers, how can we assist the people bringing the equipment in, the engineers that are involved, the energy auditors, the entire value chain. And possibly we can spring up a whole new small and medium enterprise business opportunity where smaller companies can get involved in this and do it on a sustainable manner.
Mark, if I'm listening to this and I say, but this is something that I want to do, my company, we want to do, how do I go about getting it off the ground?
There's a number of ways that one can do this. The best way to do it is to, if you're looking at the financing aspect of it, is to find your local business banker. And business banking have 200 or more employees or salespeople that are all across the country, even in the smallest areas, and they have been trained in this. They will then very quickly assist you. However, if you have done a lot of research, you then most probably know exactly which supplier you want to use or which engineer or whatever the consultant it is. If you haven't done a lot of research, there are ways that we can assist you to put you in touch with somebody that can independently guide you through this process and make sure that you get the best value for money.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you.
You're watching Nation in Conversation. You can follow us on Twitter at Nation Converse or visit the website nationinconversation.co.za. From me, Theo Foster, goodbye.
Nation in Conversation, proudly brought to you by AFGRI, Fort Knox, Hinterland, Monsanto, Nedbank, NWK and Sendex.